the people, whoever, what you call loud ones, neutral ones, difficult, challenging ones, all living, and us as a society, as a country, as the global world. So, this is how we are going to look at it. In Sri Lanka, there is a story. There was a man who was so-called educated. Maybe he was educated in his own way as well, not in the university, college, school education. He had 9 or 10 students, and he always asked his students, if something happens, I have a book for you. You have to refer to the book and turn to the right page and find the solution and follow that solution. This is what he said. So one day they were crossing a footbridge, and then there was a flooding happening that day. And then what happened? The teacher fell into the river. This might be a mythical story, maybe a real story. So the first student, he wanted to rescue the teacher, and what happened? I think the volume is okay, Aaron? Yes, too much volume. And what happened? He wanted to rescue, and then others stopped him. You can't do that. He asked why? The book. You know. So they carrying the book everywhere they go, and so they started turning over the pages now. So they were looking for a certain area in the book contents. What should we do when the teacher fell into the river? Right? There must be a place. That's why he said that you have to follow this book. And they were looking for the place, but they couldn't find it. And then in the meantime, teacher passed away in the river. So this story is an interesting story to understand that the knowledge that we are having through the books are not always enough. I'm not saying it's bad, not enough. So we have situations where we need to consult beyond the written knowledge. That is where wisdom affects us, right? The larger, broader meaning of wisdom is what we need to learn. When it comes to any quality, any good virtue in Buddhism, be that metta, karuna, mudita, dana, sila, bhavana, patti, pattanumodana, veyyava. You might not know this meaning, but I just tell you. Veyyavacca, apachayana, desana, suti, dittiju, and paramita, dana, sila, nekkamma, kanti, sacca, aditthana, metta, upekka, whatever the things, they all must be practiced with wisdom. Wisdom has to be infused in that 5 precepts, 8 precepts, dana. Think about someone who is going to give dana in the vihara, but doing without wisdom, only as a mere giving. Just go to grocery shop and buy things and then come and offer. What I call here as wisdom is that are you following what was given exactly in the larger, broader meaning of the dana? Otherwise, we might end up with a certain place where we practice in our own way, just as a physical activity, because Buddhism always say volition matters. That means our karma part matters, right? So then we have to go beyond the books sometimes. Because the Buddha did not give these teachings in a book, right? And these were written in books, not books, all are manuscripts, all are leaves, actually, all are leaves in Sri Lanka after many centuries after. Now you think about, I tell something to that lady over there, and then I tell her to tell this particular Dhamma thing to the next one, maybe Sister Hema. And then you all are passing this around, and then finally it will end up with that gentleman over there. You think that the same thing I told her will be gone to that gentleman? And especially in digital world, they might even record it. You think about many centuries ago, what would you think? I'm not trying to tell you the suttas are wrong, but I caution you, there are things that you have to be careful. right? I'm not saying they are wrong. Have to be careful. Because they came down through oral tradition. Oral means this transmission. So that's why when we follow suttas and other things, more concerned about Dhamma, because added later on, we have to take caution. Maybe we have to learn them under a teacher to make it a practice. Now, one very good thing is that in one of the suttas, if I am not mistaken, Majjhima Nikaya's Asalayana Sutta, where it is said, the Buddha compares Brahmins, the social class in India, the highest social class at that time, even now, for dogs. Why the Buddha had compared Brahmins to the dogs? He's talking the good aspects of dogs, and then saying that Brahmins don't have even those good aspects. So the problem here is that why did the Buddha want to pick up dogs to say that Brahmins are lower than the dogs? If you look at Metta Sutta, that boundless loving kindness is what we understand. Buddha shouldn't have gone to that reason, shouldn't have picked up animals to say. Now what we understand, especially scholarly point, that after the Buddha's passing away, a lot of monks got into ordination, and those monks come from that socially troubled societies. Some were Brahmins, some were anti-Brahmins who were not treated well. So at times what we see is that Brahmins attack the non-Brahmin societies, and their ideas crept into the text. And at times anti-Brahmins got time to attack, they attacked, those things also came to the text. And finally what happened, all came to the Sutta Pitaka. So we have to, that's why, be very careful how to understand particular suttas. That means we may need to read widely. If you cannot do that, of course, I think you might not be able to do it, because at the end what will bother you is Pali, not English. Because there are a lot of English writers translate these texts. So then what will happen is that you will pick up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 translators, and you think now you know the sutta, right? That is why we do sutta studies, right? We get to the bottom of the sutta, not even the Pali word. Why? Why is this idea? Now recently we discussed Chunda Sutta in this TRV Friday class, and we discussed about the Brahmins. How did they purify? What did they do early in the morning when they get up? Huh? Touch what? Touch and go? Huh? They get up by touching the ground. Huh? Right? If they could not do that, then they try to touch the cow dung. That means they must be living near a cow. If they couldn't touch the cow dung, they want to touch the grass, the newly green grass. If they couldn't touch the new green grass, they want to do the fire sacrifice, fire puja. Make a very big fire, respect the fire god Agni. If they couldn't get access to that, soak in the river. Now we understand why did the Buddha teach this sutta for us. It is because the Brahmins have their own way. He wanted to teach about the purification, right? So in this way we cannot understand the suttas without learning the background of the sutta. So I need to tell you, take some extra caution when you read by yourself. It's better that you read under a teacher who has a wide reading about the suttas. Wide reading, not 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 suttas. Wide reading, Diga, Majjhima, Sangyutta, Anguttara, Kuddaka, Abhidhamma, and then the history of Buddhism, and then the contemporary Buddhism, it's better to approach that kind of a person. Then what you will learn is very relevant to you, very timely to you. You can easily practice, right? So you won't be that teacher who fell into the river. His teaching became the failure of his life as well. Because teacher wanted to train the students in a way that you cannot do anything out beyond the books. So we treat all these suttas, all these things very respectfully, but when it comes to the practice, we have to use the wisdom, right? And some suttas, there are scathing attacks on women. If you have, I don't know, you may have seen that, very scathing attacks. It's because not the Buddha, the Brahmin monks brought their Brahmanism into suttas. Because Brahmins don't like women. They say you can't even go to a temple, you can't even chant. If you chant, we're going to cut your throat. Yeah, that's what they said. So the Brahmanistic ideas also crept in. That's why now we have to purify Brahmanism, Jainism from the sutta text when we study the suttas. Okay, so with that in mind, let's get into the topic. Karuna. Why Karuna? Why is this very important to us in our daily life? Nowadays, if you ask something that we don't feel sometimes among people that we know that we don't know, could be Karuna. Mindfulness is not that much unpopular, that much non-existing. Most of the people know that they need to practice some meditation, right? I think most of them have their own meditation. But what may be lacking sometimes is compassion. Even when some people practice Noble Eightfold Path, their Dhamma journey, they may become overly selfish if they don't know Brahma Viharas, compassion. And if Buddha had two qualities in his life that mattered to us, that we can learn from him, would Panya and Karuna. That means we can say Karuna and Panya. Karuna means his one is great compassion, Maha Karuna, Maha, great. And then Maha Panya, great wisdom. Normally in Buddhism, we understand the quality of wisdom is attributed to a women. And then while the Karuna is attributed to man. You might have heard it the other way around. Compassion must be inherent in, yes, definitely, but spiritually talking, Karuna supposed to come from the males, and Panya is supposed to come from women. But now we can't talk these things because there is no gender binary anymore. You know, man, woman. You know, I'm not man. I'm neither man nor woman. Especially when we teach students. You know, right? Especially when the teenagers are expressing their sexuality, they are neither man or woman. Right? They don't want to take the binary, gender binary. But we understand Karuna, Panya. They are the two main elements of someone's life, nothing else. So you might be wondering, in meditation, mindfulness, where is it? It's a part of Panya. Why do you meditate? You want to be wise. But after meditating 10 years, 15 years, if you think that you haven't been wise enough according to what we are talking, something wrong in that practice. Right? So meditation is a part of wisdom, because Sila, Samadhi, Panya. Samadhi is what you're getting from meditation, right? Then Panya. That means meditation is a city between the path. The terminus is not the meditation, terminus is wisdom. Starting from Sila, Samadhi is a city in between, then Samadhi, Panya is the terminus. I mean, where you are supposed to get. So Karuna is very timely relevant. Without karuna, it's very difficult to practice. I would say metta, karuna, mudita, upekkha altogether. If you look at the teachings of karuna, you could see in the Buddhist text, it's the trembling of the heart in the face of another's suffering. Now in the meditation I said, I didn't use the word suffering. What was the word I used in the meditation of karuna? Pain. Right? May I be free from physical pain, mental pain, emotional pain. May I be kind to myself. I didn't use the suffering. Why? Pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. Right? That's what we have to say. You interpret it in your own way. You don't call it's a sweet pain. You don't call it. But that's why in the Girimananda Sutta we learn on Friday, I'm trying to encourage TRV Friday discussion too. During the Girimananda Sutta we learn the Buddha used word called abada. Abada. Abada means discomfort. Then another word roga. Abada, roga, it's not here. Abada and roga. Abada means discomfort. Roga means sickness. Not every abada, discomfort is a sickness. Now when you sit here for a while, you feel discomfort slowly. Then somebody told you, hey, practice Vedananupassana. What Vedananupassana I can practice while sitting long? Right? That means you feel the pain sometime and you change your legs to the other side, this side, right? Then finally your happiness is stand. Right? You feel like, first of all you think, okay, I'm going to turn my legs to the right side, okay, I'm fine. Depending on your pain level, then you say, okay, now I'm going to turn to the left side. Again, go back to the normal posture. Then now it's enough to sit down. I want to stand. Right? So what is happening to our life is that our happiness is shifting our pain. Shifting the pain is our happiness. But it shouldn't be necessarily a suffering. Right? So that means in Buddhism, the Buddha clearly differentiates pain and suffering are two things. That's why when you go see the doctor, if you have a pain, what does the doctor ask you? On a 1 to 10, on a scale of 1 to 10, rate your pain. Now how would you answer the doctor? 5.5? How you answer the doctor? Maybe you have a knee pain here. How would you answer the doctor? You have to be very specific, right? And doctor will give you wrong medications to you. If you lie to the doctor, then you're going to say 8.2. If there is a decimal now, then you can say 8. 8, okay, he understands your pain problem. But just because you say 8, the way how you process that pain could be a suffering, could be a moment of understanding what's happening in your body, right? It depends on you, right? So, right? So that's why in Buddhism it says pain. Everybody is going through pain in their life, but when you understand Buddhism, they are not going to be pain anymore. They're going to be a normal experience. When you don't understand, when you paint every pain, when you paint every pain with suffering, then suffering will follow you. Right? Now think about something like a small example. You are depending heavily on somebody in your life emotionally. Your children, your husband, wife, partners, maybe friends, copy friends, copy friends or whoever. And then kopika, you say coffee friends, okay. Anyway, you heavily depend on someone for your happiness. Then sometimes they are not behaving the way how they behaved before. You are not happy then. Then what will happen to you? Is it pain going up or is it suffering going up at that point? Huh? Because you already define your happiness. Your happiness is depending on them. But we know everybody is impermanent. Their actions, their thoughts, their words towards, their behavior, they also change. We understand. Volatile, lot of dynamics are happening. So at that point, you are not going to be happy on that day, you know. I want more caring from you. You have to treat me good. You have to consider me. I'm number one, not number two, right? You have to, I'm the first, right? Well, everybody likes to be treated as such, but what will happen to your happiness? I mean, is it good for you emotionally? It won't be good for you. Yes, if they take care of you that way, it's good. But what if this is happening time to time? Children, that's a good idea, right? You are really caring them very well. But at a certain point, they are going to their own life and they are not those children anymore at that point. Then what will happen to us? If you were heavily depending on them, then it's not anymore pain. Earlier it was a pain when you told things to them, when they don't listen to you, okay, no problem. No? But then it will be a suffering to you. Right? So that's why we have to have the right attitude to what's happening to us, what's happening to other people. Karuna is the best attitude for that with wisdom. That's why this is very timely, very important for us to regulate our emotions every day. So when we regulate our emotions, we are healthy. Every day when you are thinking, I'm suffering, your cells also dying, and then after almost half a decade of time, you might get a cancer, you might get bad metabolism in your body. They all are connected to us. Don't think this is just an emotional problem. This will finally attack your body, finally attack your lifetime. There are many who are saying, I've been a very angry person for the last 10 years. I think I got my cancer because of that. Because you are pushing those cells. You are not accepting, because you accepted a certain thing, a provisional aspect of your relationships. Right? So that's why I tell you the idea, we need to have Karuna attitude with wisdom. So we are safe. We are mentally, physically, emotionally safe. We are healthy. Health does not always come from superfood, exercises. Yes, they must be done. Health, for the most part, come from our emotional management. Right? Okay, so now I want to show you certain, I would say, misconstrued aspects of Karuna. Karuna and piti, P-I-T-Y. What is pity? Some people tell you, okay, I want to help you because I pity on you. You know, you are suffering a lot. You are not making money enough. I know that your family and all that. Is pity Karuna? Pity, in Pali we call daya, sees the other as weak or inferior at the moment, financially and all that. Yes, we feel it sometimes. Compassion sees the other's pain as one's own. That means you are putting that person in your shoes, internalizing. Yeah, empathy. And arises from a shared sense of vulnerability. So pity is not compassion. Yes, it's sometimes we feel pity on other people as an initial thought, but we have to transform pity into compassion. We don't have to stay on that pity state and then to help other people. Pity is always, I'm okay, financially I'm okay, family wise I'm okay, so I pity on you, right? What's that? Yeah. So pity is not Karuna, but whenever you feel pity, then you need to transform into compassion. Otherwise, you will always try to say you are inferior, you are weaker, you don't have money, right? You are not like me, so I will help you if I can. That's another conceit actually, right? That is not compassion. The root of Karuna is non-harming, right? And non-separation. Now, what do we mean by, we understand non-harming, ahimsa. What is non-separation? Non-separation? No, with regard to Karuna. Now, what is happening in our life, especially when we see the suffering? Now, we see one country is affected by war, and then we feel a kind of compassion for them. Let's say you see the suffering in your own family circle here, right here, in your life circles. Then, but they are not yours. So sometimes you want to separate from that emotion. Because I don't know them. What can I do for them? I can't do anything. You separate from them. But this anatta inside means that this is the highest Buddhist concept, anatta. That means you don't separate other people's pain. You try to, if you don't know them, you can't go and help. At least you send a wish. I know these people. I don't have a liking, disliking. May you be able to sort out your problems in your own way. Right? Now, say for instance, I think we discussed that in our class. You are noticing someone is having an extramarital affair when you are going, and you see, my friend, but this guy is doing that. So now what to do? Should I tell her or not? It can be the other way around. So what should I do? Maybe not the good time. If I say that this will, I'm gonna throw that big bomb in that family. I should not say that now. Maybe I should take time. Maybe they will find out. Maybe something like that. Right? So I don't want to separate, but I should know the time. Earlier I said, any Buddhist practice must be done with wisdom and time management. So time, maybe not the good time. Maybe I will just see, because then you don't think, okay, pity on her. So I just want to support. No, not pity on her. Yes, she's my friend. So I have to communicate in a better way. Maybe not now. If I say this, more problems will happen. Right? And I think, who said that? Somebody said that finally, they found out the problem, they sorted out. It's good. I didn't have to speak up too. Right? Why did I rush to tell them? Right? So time management is very important when it comes to practicing. So you are not separating yourself. You are feeling empathy, empathize, and then to support. As just now I said, this is an outgrowth of wisdom. Normally when it comes to outgrowth, we are very unhappy, right? If there is an outgrowth in our body, we are very unhappy. It might be a cancer, right? But what happens when the wisdom is outgrown? Not overly intellectual. We have lots of wisdom. So the Karuna, this quality, comes under one of the most important concepts in Buddhism. What is it? Brahma Viharas. May I ask you, what is Brahma? What is Vihara? Anybody? What is Brahma? What is Vihara? Is this a new word to you? No, not at all. You don't know this word. No, I'm asking the meaning of this Pali word, Brahma Vihara. Brahma? Huh? Brahma Nibbana? Huh? Divine. Okay. And then other? What is it? Abode. Brahma means higher. I could say highest. Vihara is the abode. Vihara is the abode. But Vihara is the temple. Yes, Ti-Ratna Vihara. Yes, you are right. Vihara is not always temple. Today you learned more meanings. Pali has many meanings. Actually, in suttas, they say, Evang me sutang ekang samayang bhagava. Samayang. Right? You know this Pali word, samayang, S-A-M-A-Y. It has 9 meanings. English meanings, 9. So how do we know which one is the right one for our context? You must have read a lot of things. Otherwise you won't know. Vihara has many meanings. Vihara means temple, place of staying, abode, and then place of worship. Yeah, that's what she said, temple. And then highest way of living. Vihara means living. Have you ever used vihara for living? Now today you know. Next time no excuses. Living. It's living. What is happening in the vihara? Monks are living in the vihara, right? That's the idea, right? You don't just make a vihara in a desert and you go and respect, come back. Vihara means it's a place of monks, nuns living, right? Brahma Vihara means highest way of living. Highest way of living. So in order for us to live highly, live high, high means fully in a grand way, we must have 4 attitudes: metta, karuna, mudita, upekkha. Now we pick up the second one today. So karuna is one of the highest forms of living. Here Brahma means highest. There are many other meanings. So I think that part you understand. Okay, this is very important. Normally when it comes to metta, you know your target groups. I think we said that earlier. Myself, loved ones, neutral ones, difficult, challenging ones, all living beings. What is the target area of compassion? How to do it? Personal, interpersonal, structural, social. See, me, you, us. Start compassion for your own, I would say, pain, suffering, acknowledging it without dosa. Have you ever woke up early in the morning saying that, may I be kind to myself? Never. I thought you woke up by touching the ground, like the Brahmins. The Brahmins, they want to touch the ground. Yes. Of course, they might not have had beds at that time, right? Touch the ground. So then we have to say early in the morning, may I be kind to myself. Right? That statement must come from us. Not that 2 houses ago somebody is suffering, so I have to think about that person. No, first me. Why? It's like an oxygen mask, Right? They say during the flights, you must wear your oxygen mask first before you're supporting others, because you need that oxygen in the morning. Karuna is. Then interpersonal. Interpersonal mean those loved ones, neutral ones, difficult ones. Right? That area is second. Third, social. Compassion, systematic suffering, systematic violence, poverty, inequality. This is where Dhamma meets social ethics. Let's talk about that part. Structural, social compassion that we have to do. What are the moments, situations where you think you need to be more compassionate? Now, when you look back in my workplace, I remember somebody was scolding another worker, but I did not say any word. I let that happen. I just tolerated discrimination in that place. But now I feel very bad about what happened. I understand there are issues. But if you had spoke up at that point, don't do this to this person, maybe things could have changed a little bit differently. So that means in order for you to practice compassion fully, you must address these 3 areas: personal, interpersonal, social, in your own way. Right? It's not that you, by the end of today, you are going live on social media, say, Russia, Ukraine, no war. How are you going to stop that? Right? Palestine and Israel, stop the war. Yes, everybody wants that to happen. It's not that way. You are looking at your situation in your life. Maybe in your workplace, in your family, you try to become someone who can give some compassion to the violence, to the discrimination that is happening within that place. Right? So that is called compassion for the society. We need to do that. Can you think about something you can do for the society? You are compassionate. Are you supposed to be compassionate to the mother nature? This whole mother nature? What do you do for them? Go plastic, go paper, go green. Go green. That's very interesting. So what can we do? So we are looking at some sustainable options to minimize problems in this nature. So I want to be compassionate to the mother nature, this whole universe. So then one thing is that you are going to go cashless or paperless? Paperless. Paperless, go green. And the second thing is, what about these utilities? Saving energy. Okay. When are you making a smart temple? Smart temple. Smart temple means go get into solar, because you can't run on the devotees' donations all the time, right? Right? All devotees will go away in like another 20 years. So you think the young people will donate to these temples by that time? Hopefully. But they might not do that way. So these places should go smart. We have to bring in smart temple concept, smart vihara concept. Maybe we can give this to some group of uni students to, can you come up with a plan for our temple to reduce unnecessary cost? Right? Energy part. Then what else you can do? Water. Water so is very important, right? What can we do? Green water. What are the options we can do? Collect the rainwater. Yes, rainwater. And what else? What else can you do? Disposing garbage, right? So we are looking at. We can't do organic things right away, but we are getting used to sort out garbage, recycle, perishable differently, then what else? Paper differently. Why is it? It's better to dispose these things in a proper way. Not because the city asks us to do, Ministry of Environment asks us to do, but because I know this is one of my responsibilities. And what else? Have you ever spoke up when discrimination happens to someone in your life? Discriminate, you see somebody is discriminating. Have you spoken up? But you have to do it carefully. Somebody said no, so maybe something to work on, right? Right? So that is also social compassion. So compassion is not only my compassion. Personal compassion, interpersonal compassion, and social compassion. It's a quality that we have to cultivate in 3 ways. Okay. And what about hunger? What can we do for hunger? Many people sometimes, in the Philippines, 17 million people goes to sleep without food out of 110 million people. Have you ever gone to sleep without food? Maybe you don't have food to eat, you went to sleep early, around 8:30, 9 o'clock. Fasting. No, that you made a choice. I mean, you want to eat, but you don't have food to eat. Have you ever gone to sleep without food just because you want to avoid the pain of hunger? There are many people who are going to sleep early, no food to eat. So where is our compassion? What can we do for these people? Are we waiting for the UN to do something? Maybe United Nations programs to do, countries, certain programs? No, we should do something. Food bank, right? Distributing some rations. That is social compassion, right? So there are many ways to look at it. Because of the timing, I just keep going. Near and far enemies of Karuna. Karuna also has enemies, not even some other people. Near enemies, pity. Earlier we talked about pity. So don't go with pity all the time. Feeling of pity is normal, but immediately transform into compassion. Second, far enemy, apathy. The refusal to acknowledge suffering, pain of other people. When you talk to some people, look at them, no, just let them be. They just don't want to talk about it. They don't want to accept other people are going through pain. So that's the far enemy. Pity is near enemy of Karuna. So we have to avoid. If you have it, I hope not, but some people may have it. If you have a friend like that, family member like that, you will be influenced by that idea. Be careful. So Karuna also has enemies, huh? Not even some other people. So pity and apathy, we have to understand these two states and go beyond. Coming back to the most important part, Karuna must be practiced with wisdom. Dana must be practiced with Dana. Dana must be practiced with wisdom. Then Sila must be practiced with wisdom. Meditation must be practiced with meditation. No. Meditation must be practiced with wisdom, Panya. Brahma Viharas must be practiced with Brahma Vihara, Panya. Brahma Vihara, Metta, Karuna, Mudobek must practice with wisdom. Why wisdom matters? Wisdom is our main important thing in our life, spiritual life. Right? So now we are going to look at 3 issues with regard to practicing compassion without wisdom. Number 1, burnout. What is this burnout? Have you ever heard this word? Compassion fatigue. There are people saying, I've been helping, but they were very bad to me after that. They took me for granted. So I think I'm going to stop being kind to anybody from today. So what actually happened at the end? You destroyed your own compassion by helping the wrong people. So if someone is wrong to you in that way, do in a way, but don't let it happen in a way that might affect you. Sometimes you can't help very closely. So just do grassroots level of compassion to them, because there are problems if you put your fingers into their problems. So just be outside, just do it. So that's why it's very important to understand your compassion audience. Sometimes you help the wrong people and then finally you hate compassion.
So can we put a stop to that?
No, comma, not a stop. Just put a comma and understand what's going on. What could be the better way to do it? Then take out the comma and keep doing. Right? Comma, not coma, okay? Comma. So, what I'm saying is that you need to understand your compassion audience, otherwise you will have the compassion fatigue, right? Why it can happen if not balanced with upeka? Now I tell you another very important thing. Wisdom. You must practice any good quality with wisdom. Second, time management. Third, must be practiced with upeka. What does upeka do? Balance. It balances you. Should I do more to this person? I don't think at this point. So upeka comes in. Upeka helps us. Right? Second issue is that over attachment to outcomes. When you practice Buddhist qualities, you don't have to practice like a sales goal target in the corporate industry. They are very much goal oriented. Next month I have to go to that sales target. No, we don't have anything. We just do it. Right? We don't plan. Just go for an outing. Sometimes you don't want to plan to go any place. You just get in your car, you go anywhere you want. Happiness. Happiness. Right? If you want to go with many people, you have to tell them. But if you want to go, you just go. Happiness. Freedom. Right? That is very important. I know you have family, commitments. You may not be able to do it. But time to time, just do it. Good things. So we don't ever attach to outcomes, compassion outcomes. Why? Then you will get stuck because you have an outcome. Third one, enabling harmful behavior in the name of kindness. Right? So I think my friend is suffering. I want to do something for that friend because better he die early. Right? I have sort of a lot of compassion. I'm a Buddhist. I believe next life, so I go do something. So at least you die next life, you will be happy. Very dangerous, huh? That's why Karuna must be practiced with wisdom. If you practice Karuna with Karuna, you might harm other people. I'm going to say bad words to someone. Why? I want that person to understand what's going on. I have good intention, but I have to do it. Tomorrow I slap you because I love you, I mean, what's wrong with it? Because the problem is that compassion lost its wisdom part. That's why never ever do harmful behavior in the name of compassion, kindness. So we will look at these three things. First one, burnout, compassion, fatigue. So what do you think about this thing? Have you ever gone through a certain burnout, fatigue with regard to compassion? I think all of us may have gone through some kind of thing. So I think it's okay, because we had good intentions to help others. But if you had gone through some issues after that, mental issues, emotional issues, that means they are good lessons for us to look at our help in a little bit different way next time, because we don't want to get into that problem again. So what can you do after that? You never call anybody as an energy vampire anymore. People say, I've been helping someone, this person was my energy vampire, took all my energy for last 10 years. So I'm going to fight with this person. No, this is a good lesson. So never ever lose your compassion. Do it with wisdom. Help out other people, but understand how far can you help, how far can you not help. That's important. Find out your space. Always have a buffer in your compassion, good qualities. Don't try to do everything right away. Have a buffer. Everything has a buffer, right? Everything has a buffer in this world. Maritime, there is a buffer. Every country has their maritime zone and a buffer zone. International buffer area. Anybody can travel there. In our life, we must have a buffer. Why? If not, lots of emotional floods will come into us. That's why people ask you not to make houses near the river, because one day river will be flooding. So don't blame the river. The river has to flood. Don't make houses near the ocean, because ocean will have a tsunami. Don't say Mother Nature is bad to us. That's the nature of the ocean. That's the nature of the river. Right? So we have to have an emotional buffer when we do any good thing to other people. Why? It's for the safety of us, safety of that person. We don't want other people to be bad also, right? Because that person exhausts energy too. So help out anybody by understanding the space limit. I would call it as a buffer. That's important. What is very important at the end is never ruin your compassion. Never get lost with compassion, your own compassion. You have to keep it up. Right? Maybe you help out the very, very bad person, worst person, it's okay, it happened. But now, understanding space, time, and that emotional area, that how I manage myself, you are going to continue with your practice. Because I have seen some people, they have stopped helping other people from that point onwards. So the harm has come to them, not to other people. They are always harmful. They are always bad. But why you want to become a bad person? It's your own good quality. So please keep that in mind. Upekka can help you along with wisdom, time management. Why? Upekka balances you out. Right? Why do I say this thing? Have you heard some people are saying, when I see someone suffering, I feel very overwhelmed. I want to go there and help out. Sometimes it's very dangerous. Sometimes those people are also dangerous. Right? Think about that story, like you want to support a snake stuck somewhere. Right? You want to go near the snake. Snake, I'm very kind to you. Don't hurt me. I'm going to remove yourself. Does snake know this thing? Huh? The snake doesn't know anything. Snake only knows the pain and somebody trying to catch him. Then definitely snake will bite that person. So how to help a snake like that? So I have to, maybe I will ask a snake catcher to come, wildlife to come. Here I think Bomba, right? Ask them to come and support this. I mean, I call them. I'm not the right person to help them. Then how do I know I'm not the right person to help them? Wisdom. And I balance my Karuna energy. Easy. No, I have to do myself. Oh, snake, just stay over there. I'm going to help you. In the same way, think about some humans. We cannot help them. Maybe we think about better ways to approach those people. That's number one issue. Second, over attachment to outcomes. Right? When compassion becomes a need to fix someone or change situation, we suffer if results don't match expectations. What is that? So let's say you want to help somebody, right? But outcomes are not coming. As Buddhists, are we supposed to look at the outcome when we are helping someone? What do you think? Are we supposed to look at the outcome? What can I get out of this? Or maybe what, especially personally? That's not right. That's not the norm, right? Yeah. That means when we are helping out other people, we don't have to have an outcome, result, right? Just do it, and then if it is not a good situation, we distance from that person, but we keep continuing. It's like a situation long time ago. Somebody in a coffee shop lineup paid for the second person behind him, and that person paid for the third person, fourth person, fifth person, right? It was then finally contagious, paying for the other person, right? Never know who they are actually, because somebody paid me. There are people doing that. In my life, somebody says, in my life, my parents took care of me really well. They give me lots of love to me. I can see everybody nicely. I have no anger towards anybody. They educated me, the most importantly, they gave me lots of love. I can understand myself and other people. When we look at certain situations of people, they've been treated very badly. So they justify violence. Right? Even you get into a relationship, young people, you feel everything looks good financially, words are sweet, maybe beyond the honey. But then as time goes by, you tend to find problems. Why? The other person was abused in his or her life by people at that time. So now abuse is coming back. It's not your problem, it's their own problem. So you must have looked at that thing earlier. So that means this nature of being loved by other people is a blessing in our life, right? And if we don't have it, we need to do it. At least in the next life we are okay, rather than blaming this life. Because we have to start from somewhere. Otherwise it will never start. We must start from somewhere. If we think we are not having it, start it today. This is why Karuna. So never attach to outcomes. Just do it in the best way. Whether it is going to work out or not, just do it. Otherwise, you will have Karuna burnout, Karuna fatigue. Now, in order to do that, I will show you a sutta, Majjhima Nikaya's 131 sutta, Bhante Ratta Sutta. In this Bhante Ratta Sutta, something interesting happening. Some others are saying, Bhante, your monks are very happy people, huh? Not happy-go-lucky, but happy people. They are always smiling, happy, no stress, right? They are not the monks you see from internet, the photos. They are very much into meditation, always like so much. Because we know 2 arahants passed away by committing suicide in the text. 2 arahants, Godika and Vakkali, they took their life. Why one took life to attain Nibbana? That's pretty concerning. Arahants must have had a lot of mental stress then. So that's why we have to understand this idea of Nibbana must be coming to us with some happiness. So the people in the Bhante Ratta Sutta asking, Bhante, your monks are very happy people. They have no stress. They look good. They are nice. Why? Then the Buddha said, because their happiness based on three things. They don't worry about the past. They don't worry about now. They don't worry about the future. This is happiness. Then are we learning from this? Are we supposed to go to our past? Huh? How do we live without past? Huh? May I know? You said no. So how to live without the past? Past is everything. I was born somewhere, I had mother, father, I lived so far. So I just let it go, being very ungrateful to my everybody. Should I? Yeah, what? Then tell me the attitude that we have to have for the past. I'm asking attitude, not to let go of the past. Attitude. Attitude is, I go to the past, learn my mistakes, or I be grateful to those people, come back here. Because past is gone already. That is the correct attitude for the past. Monks, the Buddha doing the same thing. But what is happening to many people? They go to the past, they don't want to come back, stay there, and then very unhappy about the people who did bad things to them. They never let go, and then they live in the past, never can become happy. They will never be happy. They will give you a smile once a month, maybe twice a month, maybe like once in 2 months, because I cannot be happy because my past is so heavy for me. Right? The Buddha said, go to the past if you want, learn the lessons, mistakes, come back here. It's gone already. And present moment, this moment. What is the attitude that I should have for the present moment? Huh? Live in the moment without judgments. Who said that? John Kabat-Zinn, right? Is a mindfulness, mindful meditation based on stress reduction. He started a course in UMass, Massachusetts, and then started this course idea. In Buddhism, what is the right attitude to the present moment? I live in this moment with Brahma Viharas and mindfully, right? So I can live fully. Actually, a lot of people live partially in the moment. Maybe they live 1/4, 3/4 gone to the past and the future. Grab the opportunity to live for the full moment. That's why almost 8-10 years ago, there was a man called Eckhart Tolle, wrote a book, a German Canadian who wrote a book, The Power of Now. And when we learn about Bhante, nobody understands the Bhante. But the book, Power of Now. Why? It's a best-selling book. It's because now is the moment we can do anything, Dhamma, practice, help, plans, everything. Right? So, attitude for the moment, present moment is practicing, living with 4 Brahma Viharas, because they are the highest form of living, with mindfulness. But some people, they kick out of the Brahma Vihara, they only practice Satipatthana. How to do it? Satipatthana must be practiced with Brahma Vihara. Looking only at the thought. Actually, when we want to do Kusala, Akusala, behind the scene, what's happening? Energy going here and there. Let's say you are angry. Is it just a thought? No, it has power, it has energy. That's why some people think that I'm so angry, so I want to distribute my anger towards my loved ones today. So they call and bug them that day. What's wrong with you? Because I'm so stressed, I want to just distribute my anger. They're stressed out. So that's why it's very important to understand that akusala is not just thoughts. They are energies. Once I'm angry, I cannot overcome that energy. I only can transform energy to the metta. Some people don't think this way. Okay, okay. Anger, 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 anger. Metta. Why metta not come to me? Because metta is an energy also, because we have to transform into metta. Let's say you are very greedy about something. Very, very greedy. Lot of cravings about something. Then you are doing a very hardcore meditation. What is dana, dana, may dana come to me. No, greed is an energy. Same energy will become the dana energy. Right? Remember that man who wanted to eat some sweet cake? I think we discussed that in one of the sutta discussion. He told his wife, I'm so sad these days. She asked why. He doesn't tell wife what he wants to eat. And then after a few days, he told, on the way to my house, I saw one man, poor man, eating rice cake. I want to eat it, but you don't tell anybody. Right? So where are we going to make the rice cake? 7th floor. Because others will come to our house to ask, 7th floor when you cook it, smell doesn't go to other people. So then, why you didn't tell me earlier? I would have cooked for you. So said, okay, we'll go to the 7th floor. Then the Buddha knew that day, this man, Maccariya Kosya, has some opportunity to understand Buddhism. So I think they were in Rajagaha, the Buddha was in Savatthi. He asked Venerable Moggallana, I think here, Venerable Moggallana, today you have a mission. Maccariya Kosya with wife making rice cake in the 7th floor. You have a mission. You try to get him today. And then he went. Now they were very hard working to make the rice cake. So the Arahant Moggallana was just in the sky, in the story. Then he was very unhappy. Came to the 7th floor to eat. These monkeys just going here and there. What's going on here? Then he said to him, even you walk in the sky, you will never get anything today from us. Then he was just skywalking. Then in a moment of time, he challenged him, even you smoke something, emitted some rays, I will not get anything. Then he started, because Arahant Moggallana had that ability. Then finally, Maccariya Kosya felt this is really a nuisance to him, I can't eat the rice cake now. Then he said to the wife, can you make a small rice cake? Just put a small one into the pan. Then she just poured into a small amount. Then it became the biggest of the, because of the power of the Arahant Moggallana. Then finally he said to wife, can you take out a small one with the one that you already cooked? Then they all stuck together. Then he understood something wrong here. Maybe this monk is very powerful. Let's give the whole thing to him. We will start again. Then Arahant Moggallana said, I'm not going to accept this. You need to offer this to the Buddha and other monks. Right? So the reason why I picked up, and finally they became Sotapannas. The very greedy people became Sotapanna. Why? They got the right energy, right condition. Right? They got the right conditions. So that means akusala kusala management is not only thoughts, they are energies. We have to understand our energy. So then, present moment, living with 4 Brahma Viharas and mindful. Future, as the follower of the Buddha, how should you plan for the future? Do you plan the future? Do you want to live in the future? Tell me. Huh? So tell me the difference between planning and living in the future. Huh?
One is forward, one is present.
What is?
One is forward, you plan forward.
You plan forward.
You live in the present.
Yes. But some people live in the future, right? Huh? No, they are not dead, they are actually dreaming too. And they are also in the future. Living in the future is a problem. So people who are living in the future, they are unhappy people. Because future is yet to come, they are destroying their present moment. So the Buddha said, the reason why my monks are very happy, they are happy, nice, they can handle anything, is because They are not living in the past, they are not living in the future. They are living now by understanding the past, by planning for the future. So, what is the answer for this question? So, when you live like that, you are not going to over attach to your outcomes. Okay. Third one, enabling harmful behavior in the name of kindness. Right? Now, we need to understand this carefully. Never ever try to impose any violence on anybody just because you are kind to them. Right? Think about a situation, someone is in coma, life support, and then you are a quick thinker, right? I want to fast track your life. So I go and I take off the life support because you are happy, because that's why Buddhists have to be very careful, because they believe the next life. Hinduism, they say self. Atma, they say even you kill someone, it's okay in Bhagavad Gita, because self cannot be destroyed. If you learn the Bhagavad Gita book, Sanskrit Bhagavad Gita, it says the Arjuna is becoming very lazy, then Vishnu is coming as Krishna telling, don't worry. He said, I can't do the war because my family is there. It's okay. If you kill them, you cannot kill yourself. Buddhism says no. Any type of killing is immoral. And at the same time, we need to understand, when we work with certain difficult situations, we must be very careful. There are a lot of things can happen in the name of compassion. Remember, there was a story in Sri Lanka, maybe some of you might know, not know. There was a person who went to the Vihara, and she made appang on that day, Chia. Appang, you know appang? And then she thought, today, I'm not going to offer Buddha Puja into the bowl. I want to give it to the Buddha directly. So she climbed onto the altar, put them on the Buddha's hand, and she was very happy. Today Buddha took all my appang, food. Later on, when the chief monk went to the Vihara, saw a lot of ants going into the Buddha statue. What's going on here? Somebody put appang on the Buddha's hand. And he knew who brought dana on that day, and asked, why did you put that? Because I'm so compassionate towards this thing. I think Buddha, why we should put into the alms bowl? I have more compassion to the Buddha, so I wanted to give to his own hand. I put them on his own hand. Compassion without wisdom. Right? That's why we may do certain unnecessary behaviors when we don't practice any good quality without wisdom. Always try to understand the wisdom part. Okay? Karuṇā Bhavana, we did that today. Our Karuṇā Bhavana, as you can see, we started, I will go to the back again over here. Can show. Karuṇā meditation. You can say, may I be free from physical, mental, emotional pain. May I be kind to myself. May my loved ones be free from physical, mental, emotional pain. Kind to themselves. Neutral ones, the same physical, mental, emotional pain. And then difficult, challenging one. This is an important part to discuss actually. We always have to be mindful to make sure that we have the space between difficult, challenging ones. We don't want to create some issues, but we still have to be kind, compassionate. Finally, may all living beings be free from physical, mental, emotional, and all that. To end our morning Dhamma talk, I would ask you to think about the Buddha's life story. How did the Buddha practice compassion? I think we have to learn from him at the end now, before we go to the Dana time. Tell me, how did he practice Mahakaruna? If you know how he did it.
Was it the story he jumped into for the tiger, for the cubs?
No, that's a paramita, perfection, Mahayana, Vyagri Jataka. I'm asking now, we know the Buddha, in his life, how did he practice Mahakaruna, great compassion? He had a practice he was doing every day. What was it? Every morning when before he does anything else, it is said he is looking for someone to be someone that he can go and help. That's number one. Yeah. So Sunita, Sopaka, those are examples. Then by the evening time, around 6 o'clock, he's again doing that, looking for someone, but he cannot go. He doesn't go. He has to give a Dhamma talk in the place, but he's doing some things through his mind, certain wishes. So what can we learn from this practice? We have to bring that practice to us, not in the Buddha way, we can't do that way, in our own way. Can you tell me that whether you have done that any time in your life? Have you ever woke up with the thought, may I be kind to myself? Who am I going to be kind today? Did you have that thought? Or you had, who am I going to bug today? What was your thought in the morning? Sometimes we don't know what we can do to other people, right? Why? We don't understand the suffering of other people. Then we don't know what to do. So that means we need to understand what is going on in other people's life if you want to support. Say for instance, you are thinking some animals, some stray dogs or maybe stray cats, you want to help them. So how to help them? You are thinking a better way to support them. Maybe you are thinking certain people who have no food, you are thinking what is a better way to do that for them, right? Not that every day I go to the temple, I eat, I offer, come back. Then I don't have the social compassion part. My compassion is not full, right? Like many people do, they are personal metta, then maybe a little bit of interpersonal metta, but no social metta. So they may do personal karuna, interpersonal karuna, not social karuna. So then I think I am not full in my Brahma Viharas. So you are thinking, what can I do based on how can I do it? How can I do it depends on understanding their situation. That is called empathy in the first place. Empathizing, then looking at how to help them, right? So sometimes many people don't do that. So definitely you need to understand if you really want to help out. If you cannot help out, then nothing to do, right? So in summary, what I can say is that Karuna is not just an emotion. It is a full action. It must be a full action at a certain point. Karuna cannot be done without only being kind to a certain person. Karuna must be practiced fully, personally, interpersonally and socially. So you must engage in all type of Karuna as much as you can in your life. I think the rest of the things regarding questions you may ask, you may drop the questions into the box and you can ask. Alright, so then we are now taking time, still 11:22, maybe we can get ready for the dana. At the same time, if you have more time, you can do a bit of walking meditation too. So dana will happen in the first floor, the same place we are having the dana. So please make your way calmly and quietly. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.